Great teams aren't just built on talent, they're built on vision, leadership, and grit. And when those elements come together, dynasties are born. When it comes to grit in individuals, I look for those who are givers, resourceful, integral, tenacious, and team players. Yes, in my grit, there are two T's. Now let's get into it. Building a winning culture. First off, let's talk about the return of the mastermind herself, Kelly Krauskopf. Yep, she's back. The architect behind the Fever's early success is like the basketball version of Yoda, wise, experienced, and ready to guide this team back to the promised land. Her return means only one thing: stability and leadership. She's here to make sure this franchise isn't just catching W's, but building a whole dynasty.
This is a seminal moment in women's sports. It's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. You know, I think being a part of the first 18 years and building the franchise from the beginning gave me a lot of insight, institutional knowledge, 6 years on the NBA side, to be ready for this moment, to leverage all that experience and certainly look at this as a new business.
Yeah, just with your 6 years on the NBA side of things, just how did that give you a different perspective that you can now bring back to the Fever?
You know, the NBA is such a mature league. I mean, there's so many great takeaways. I think, you know, I went into it with eyes wide open. You know, what can I learn from this experience? What can I add? But what can I also learn? I think, you know, I'm a lifelong learner. I love the game. I mean, this is in my DNA. You know, everything about running a team, you know, running a basketball program, if you will. It's really who I am. It's my passion. And I think being able to leverage that experience, being embedded with Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan in those daily meetings and talking about building the roster, it's very similar to what I did really for 18 years. The difference is the contracts are a lot bigger, the resources are a lot more, but there's so many things about running the team, putting together rosters that are really the exact same. So learning from them, you know, everything from just the level of the business of the contracts, all of the ways that you can put teams together, you know, those are things that I'm going to be ready for, because as we go into a new CBA or we go into potentially a new way to do business, you know, I'm going to be ready for that. Being the only woman in a room in the NBA, you know, was daunting. And but I knew what I was doing. I know basketball. I know how to put together teams. And I think that for me, I hope I can, you know, be that for women as well and for these players. And so that's exciting for me. And it's fun to see people turning out and talking about the Indiana Fever, talking about what Caitlin Clark did last night or Aaliyah Boston.
And we can't forget about Kelsey Mitchell, our seasoned vet, holding it down. She's been through the grind, seen it all, and now she's taking on a mentor role. Think of her as the wise sage guiding the young Padawans. You'll love to see it.
Kelsey Mitchell, she was a player that was drafted in the last group that I was part of. So Pokey Chapman was our coach and GM. I went to see Kelsey play at USA Basketball in Santa Barbara at one of their workout camps, and I called Pokey and I said, I'm watching our draft pick right now. I mean, she's going to be a star, this player. I mean, she's going to be a dynamic guard for us for years to come. So, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today without Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, she's clearly a very foundational piece. She's got 7 years of being in and out of this building. She went through a lot as we were preparing to be even better, as a better place to play, a new practice court, a new arena, you know, all the remodels. I mean, Kelsey went through all of that, and she got better. She never put her head down. She kept playing hard and did everything she could. So she's extremely important to the success of the future. We intend to, you know, have lots of conversations and make sure she knows that, but I think she does know that.
Now, the Fever didn't exactly have it easy, but that's where growth from past challenges comes into play. Right? The struggles. Oh, they paid off big time with those draft picks. And now we're talking about a team ready to make some serious noise in the WNBA. Let's just say the Fever are on the comeback tour. So, get your tickets now.
You don't get two number one picks in the draft by having a great team and great years. You know, you go through some peaks and valleys. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball. You know, I have high expectations, and I have high expectations first of myself, and then I have that of our staff and of our team. So number one, you know, this is a place where players can come and get better and be surrounded by an organization that supports you. They're going to have everything they need to be successful. So if you have the right DNA and you love the game and you love to compete, then you're going to be a great fit, you know, with this team, because we're about winning. I mean, this is a winning franchise. We've had constant success of winning and being in the playoffs. And, you know, my plan is to return us to that level of consistency. And that takes commitment. That takes players that really are invested in being great players and being a great team.
The Caitlin Clark effect. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the star on the court, or the meteor that has impacted the earth and has caused tsunami, earthquakes, tidal waves, typhoons, and volcanic eruptions. That's Caitlin Clark. She's the future, the cornerstone. And let's be honest, she's the reason we're all here, right? Caitlin Clark is the definition of it factor. Her play style alone is a magnet for the fans. She's got the deep three-point shot, flashy passes, and let's not forget ice in her veins when it matters most.
Because she passes to space, she finds openings and ways to free up other players. So, you know, I look at just really how her and Kelsey work together and the efficiency of the offense because of the way that she plays the game. And I would think that would be a big draw. You know, I plan on, I think it's an easy picture to paint, you know, to free agents.
Now, you know, we have to talk about the Caitlin Clark effect on viewership. This isn't just hype. This is facts. When Caitlin's on the court, people watch. The Fever's viewership skyrocketed because of her. And when she's off, well, let's just say the ratings fall faster than a defender trying to guard her step back three. And here's the real kicker. Free agents want to play with Caitlin. Who wouldn't? She's the type of player who will make you look real good, feeding you those dimes in places you didn't even think you were open. Free agents are about to line up for the chance to play alongside of her. And honestly, I don't blame them. Now, let's zoom out and talk strategy, because the Fever aren't just building for the next season. They're building for the long haul. The blueprint? Oh, it's a tried and true method. Think about how the Pacers built around Tyrese Halliburton. Now, apply that same energy to Caitlin Clark. You've got a floor general who controls the tempo of the game, and that's dangerous.
I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her. You know, she, much like Tyrese Halliburton, she gets you the ball in places that you didn't even know you were open.
But this isn't just about what happens on the court. The Fever are also looking to build something lasting, a sustainable fan base. Think about it like this. If Caitlin Clark is the iPhone, the Fever want to be Apple. They're not just trying to make a splash this season. They want to be an iconic brand in women's basketball.
I want this team to be the leader in the country, and, you know, a brand, an enduring brand, you know, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real opportunity here. So I think that's a goal for the future is, you know, it's always about your players. I was raised by Donnie Walsh, and, you know, it's not about me, it's about our players. And I want to put them out front. These are dynamic women. They're tremendous people, and they're just tremendous basketball players. So we're going to look for, you know, ways to continue to grow that. And look, Amber and I, you know, we're both, you know, as general managers, she's going to be doing a lot of the day-to-day groundwork. You know, for me, you know, we're both going to be talking to agents. We're both going to be talking to the team. We'll be making those basketball decisions together, but and certainly have our scouts out and making sure that we're covering what we need to cover. But looking forward to working with her. She's been a part of really building a lot of different teams. So she brings in varied experiences, knows a lot of people around the league, a lot of agents. So looking forward to working with her.
And let's not forget about Amber Cox, who's coming in hot with her experience and basketball smarts. She's working alongside Kelly to make sure the Fever aren't just chasing one-off wins, but building a powerhouse. Think of her as the behind-the-scenes mastermind, pulling all the right strings.
Kind of from across the street, just how would you evaluate Christy Sides and kind of her performance as a first-time head coach so far?
Yeah. I mean, what a roller coaster ride for her. I was smart enough to know that the schedule was stacked against a young team early in the season, and the way that they weathered the storm, got into a groove, after the Olympic break. I mean, I think she finished 18-12, after those first 10 games, and then of course went 7-4 in the last 11, and 3 of those losses were against teams in the finals. So for a young team to make that kind of progress, I mean, it's hard to not be impressed. I think the outside noise, what she had to endure as a coach and what they had to endure as a staff to keep that team focused and together. I mean, it takes time. It took a long time for teams that I've had to gel and to get together. I mean, years. It doesn't happen in 4 months. It takes a few years. So I was really impressed with the progress that they made and how, Christy is a resilient leader. She's a culture builder. I know just that she's got that kind of, stamina to stick to it and stick to her plan. And she's a good person and she's a great leader. And I was impressed with the way they finished.
Here are a few key takeaways from Kelly's response about Coach Sides. 1. Focus on personal attributes. Kelly emphasizes Sides' personal qualities, calling her resilient, a culture builder, and a strong leader. This feels more like praise for her character and ability to handle adversity, rather than a direct assessment of her coaching abilities or strategies on the court. 2. No direct endorsement of coaching performance. While there's acknowledgement of the team's improvement post-Olympic break, Kelly avoids making any concrete statements about Christy Sides' technical coaching abilities. She highlights the challenges and the progress, but steers clear of explicitly defending or critiquing her as a coach. This could imply that there's still some uncertainty about Sides' future. 3. Emphasis on time and patience. Kelly mentions that it takes years for teams to gel, suggesting that there's an understanding that success doesn't come overnight. However, this could also be interpreted as a defense of the team's overall progress rather than a direct endorsement of Sides' long-term role. 4. Avoidance of a firm decision. Fans speculating whether Coach Sides will be fired are likely picking up on the lack of a direct answer regarding her future. While Kelly praises her personal qualities and the team's resilience, she doesn't clearly say whether Sides will continue as head coach or if her job is secure. Conclusion. It seems like Kelly is carefully avoiding making any definitive statements about Christy Sides' coaching future. The focus on personal qualities without an explicit coaching endorsement might leave room for a potential change. And fans wondering about Sides' job security will likely find the absence of clarity as a sign that her position could still be in question.
Lastly, this isn't just about next season, folks. It's about the future. Kelly Kroskov is on a mission to make the Fever the face of the WNBA. Think iconic. Think legacy. The vision is clear. Long-term success. And Caitlin Clark is the key to unlocking it. So, there you have it. We've got Kelly back. Kelsey is splashing. And Caitlin is dominating. Free agents, take notes. This is the team you want to be on. The Fever are making moves. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. If you love this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep ballin'.